Okay, here we go. Fine, I will address it. Many of you have been writing in asking me to give an answer on this, and I wanted to wait long enough to make sure that we definitely made the decision, and we did. But before I say that, just since we have so many new viewers every day and things have been explosive recently, thank you to everyone for that. I just want to emphasize something so no one gets confused who's not familiar with what I'm talking about. What I'm about to mention has nothing to do with our normal show. I'll reference a show ending. It's not the normal commentary show that most of you are, watching on a semi-regular basis. This is unrelated to the commentary videos, or if you're a full show or podcast listener, the content there that's commentary about the day's news. And I'll explain this in a way that new viewers can kind of get a quick summarization with it. We had been doing a show called The Grudge, and it was a weekly show. You can find it in the podcast tab on the YouTube homepage, but essentially was an experiment. As someone who has gone out and debated with MAGA figures a lot of times, gone on Piers Morgan a lot, Tim Pool, etc., one thing I had never done is a reoccurring attempt at that sort of format, right? Debating, arguing, seeing if there's a common ground with someone who's way on the other side of the political spectrum. And I thought, is there unique value to it not just being a one-off conversation, a 40-minute hit on a TV show, but instead a reoccurring engagement? And so I reached out to a few different people, and then Isabella Moody, who herself is a right-wing influencer, and her husband sometimes appeared as well. They were interested. And for, I think it was 10 episodes, we did a show where we talk about political topics. Sometimes it got personal because politics does often get personal, or cultural issues. And then we just see what happened. And all sorts of crazy things happened. I'll just summarize it by saying that it got cray. So then why? That's what we talked about last time. This is what I don't understand.
That's a lie.
It's the same damn principle.
I give you an inch and you want to take a mile.
I take an inch and I want the full inch.
It makes me wish I never conceded a inch.
See, maybe you're wrong.
This sucks because I really do like doing this show. I even admitted that, which is something I've never admitted before ever.
You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this.
I'm leaving.
And I think some value came of it. And also, it took a lot of effort, both production-wise, energy, time, but then emotional effort. Because as things sometimes did get more personal.
Do you think I'm in an abusive relationship? Oh, crap.
Really? Then that took a certain level, a certain amount of vulnerability. And so with that, we have decided that with all that's going on right now and how much just doing the daily show takes up, that additional project, weekly, putting out something like that took so much effort, was no longer something that we wanted to invest in. And so The Grudge is dead, is the summarization. But I did want to finally, it's been weeks now, so I do apologize to the people who had started watching it on Sundays. We just kind of paused for a while to figure out what we're going to do. And then I never updated you on what happened to it. So that is what happened to it. As far as takeaways, I've told you all before, I'm always trying new things. I'm always trying to figure out ways to bring in more entertaining or more valuable or just different ways to bring political content to you all so that it never gets stale and maybe we stumble across something really special. And so I'm glad that we did that with this. And like I said, there were some moments where Isabel had a breakthrough.
But I'm like, oh, you can't handle these certain words? Bye, I'm not going to talk to you. So I was being a hypocrite for sure.
Yeah.
Not everyone thinks like me. Mm-hmm. So I need to kind of be more sympathetic and put myself in other people's shoes.
Or others were just, I think the debate was valuable. Or I learned or had reaffirmed how far apart we are. When I think about the divide in the country, and then we had it represented right there on the show, it made clear just how far apart on a lot of issues people are, and kind of illustrated that in a very visceral way. And so I think that being documented, it'll always be there up on the channel, is a valuable experiment, and sort of takes me back to how I started doing this. Now I'm doing more commentary, but as many of you know, it all started just going out to rallies and talking to / debating people at Trump rallies, and that was an interesting beginning to this pursuit. And so I'm happy that we did it. There's some relief because it was a lot. Some relief that now we can go back to just focusing on our normal bread and butter. But know that we're always thinking of, we have right now different projects we're working on to try to constantly enhance the content that you all are receiving. So I would appreciate if you appreciate that, me putting myself out there with different things. And we did get a lot of hate just because anytime a liberal and a MAGA come in the same room, then people are going to be angry about it. And then different people from different viewpoints are then coming across it. So then those people have all their different thoughts. And so if you do appreciate that I put myself out there, the team does, and you want to support this show, clicking the subscribe button makes a huge difference. And then you'll be there the next time we have an interesting project that's different from just what we'll always be doing, which is the daily commentary. And you can also, if you want to go a step further, click the join button below, which gets you the bonus show. But to confirm for all of our Grudge viewers, it is over, at least for the time being. And what a little saga in the history of the Luke Beasley Show.